You guys are the best. You guys are the freaking the best, man. Thank you for being here. All 8 of you. Thank you so much for being here. This is very the word encouraging does not cut it. But to come here and fight the 7 of you here already, this is it's a very good feedback. I know. I'm feeling like we have been talking for 20 minutes. We haven't. I just started talking. Man. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Let's give this little light here a full screen. Right there. Right. This other side, right there. Put it in the screen. We have a lot of room on the other side. So this one can be. There you go. And then I'm going to be here doing my magic. Do y'all know why I do this? Do y'all know why I do this? This has nothing to do with Usain Bolt. This is me measuring my wingspan. I'm measuring my wingspan. How much space do I need to fit? Because I talk like this. So I need to know where is my frame? How big is my confinement? Because mimi naogeaga na mikono. Last night, I was here until 1 o'clock in the morning. I was editing that video that is running on YouTube. I noticed a lot of this. I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he doing all these things? Can't you just be restrained? Like a product of conditioning? No, I'm free. Allah. Leo niko green. Green is green. Do I have a green vase? Let's change. Let's bring something that is going to match with the greenness of the greens. Un momento, amigos. Por favor, está luego, está pronto. Está bien pronto. Booyah. Close to green, purple, green, whatever. Colorblind, George? George, are you colorblind? Are you calling that green, George? You call it whatever you want to call it. But make sure it is yours. This one here is mine. You people are sitting there watching somebody speaking to themselves as if they are having a conversation with somebody else. You don't find that suspicious? None of you can say, hey, we need to call a psychologist. Something is not right here with this guy. Amekula mihandarati. Yuck. It's cold already. How long have I been sitting here? I can't drink something cold. Never. That can never happen. Never. Not me. Somebody should call some doctor by now. Somebody should call a doctor right now. Obviously, something is wrong with this guy's head. Don't you people find it suspicious? You think this is normal behavior? Simon Mwakio, coast name. Mwakio. Yeah, that's a coast name. Siski ukiongelea all kalau kabisa mundu wa nyumba. Hey, bro, keep up with the world or it will leave you behind. If you are still in last week, umeachwa na maneno bwana. Green psychologically means welcoming all healing. Hey, you are the you are the psychologist we need. No help for me. No help for me. Always a pressure. Thank you so much, Mr. Ben. I cannot read names. Erinstotin. Erinestotinaga. Well, is it Erin Estotinaga? Erin Estotinaga? Erin? Is that a girl's name? Is that a girl's name? Is it Erin? Let's find out. Let's expand it. Uh-oh, it is not helping. It says ETO Radoms. It is not helping. Well, we will never know. So now we cannot call you a girl, we cannot call you a boy. So we are going to call you them they ate. Them they ate. What were you saying? Them at ate? Where did you go? Logic zone, that's what you say. Thank you very much. This is good. Yawa. Nahashon, thanks to you, I have begun my journey of being a bored guy. I am not bored. I have the strongest hairline on planet Earth. I just hate hair. I couldn't wait to get out of high school so that I can cut my hair the way I wanted to cut it. Our headmaster was very strict. You had to do what now Americans call crew cut. Those days, it used to be called kunyolewa kizungu, the same design that the police at Kigajo were being shaven. I don't know what they call it these days. I don't know if there is a name because I see police with a victimhood hair. So I don't know what's happening. But those days, crew cut, the American crew cut, we used to call it kizungu. Ama kunyorowa kama polisi. I hated it. I hated hair from a long time ago. I hate hair. And I have a lot of it. Well, not on the arms, but in the right places. But I don't care for hair. I don't. So I cut it every day. I just came from the shower right now. I was in the shower at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I went to the gym. And I walked for an hour. And I jumped back in the shower and shaved again. That's how much I dislike hair. Oh, nowadays it's called Jordan. No. Crew cut was not Jordan. Crew cut, you trim on the edge, on the sides, and gradually leaves a little bit of hair in the front. Looked very smart, especially for people with beautiful head style, head shape like mine. But I am not a hair person. No. Probably in the photo that I posted on X from 20 years ago, maybe I'm on the crew cut. Let me check. But I used to cut myself. I started cutting my hair probably a week after I came here. I went to a kinyozi and the price was too much. It was more expensive to get a haircut for one time than to go buy those Walau, WAHL, shaving machines. So I went to a supermarket and bought that. I have never sat in a kinyozi place again. This is me 20 years ago, before my son was born. I know what you're thinking. I'm aging backwards. You might be right. I need this charger. Let's do some karabat. Put this here. I can have this one on this side, so I can charge the small phone so it does not die. You guys, nobody has called the police. You sitting there listening to somebody speaking to themselves, and you have not said, hey, let's have a welfare check on this Maragua guy 20 solid years ago. Yawa. I cannot drink something that is not extremely hot, and I cannot eat cold food. I hate cold food especially. All right, what are we doing here? I have not played a single music, so you people better have something better to do. Ama nianze kuwapigia zile music zangu za ayai. Kipiga hizo music za ayai mimi natoka. Uko hapa sasa. Toa peki. Uko na topic gani? Uko na topic gani? Nowadays it's called Jordan. Jordan is this. Looks like that's exactly what I was doing. This is Austin, by the way, 20 years ago. You cannot see that space behind me anymore. It is fully developed. We were heavily pregnant with my son when this photo was taken. I have a photo of a woman, 98 pounds, but the stomach was here. There was a Kikuyu boy in there looking like she's carrying triplets, and she's tiny little thing, 98 pounds. I don't know what 98 pounds is in kg. That's when this photo was taken. Shortly after, the Kikuyu guy showed up. I was like, hiya! I've never been the same ever since. This guy and this guy, they don't even know each other. They don't even know each other. They don't know each other. You don't know what you are missing if you're not raising a son. You have no idea what you are missing. Yes, cutting your hair is a level of freedom. You said it, not me, Nahashon. Because people with the victimhood hair, they are carrying victimhood. They are bowed by slavery, by colonialism, by apartheid, by victimhood, by occupation. Their head is occupied by a foreign power, and they have to project that with that victimhood here. So the opposite of that is this one. You can argue with it all you want, but that is the truth. This little fucker here, called Nahashon, has already discovered that. Nahashon, kwani unatumia namba ya mpesa ya girlfriend yako? Sababu sijaona mpesa kama kwa jina yako. Hiki kiradi labda ha. I'm drinking tea today with milk. Tangawizi tea. That's why it's cooling off very quickly. And it's developing that cream at the top. Probably bought the wrong milk with too much fat content. That's why it's looking like that. Anyway, nikikreka adina berehaha. Where are we? If I think okay, that is oh no, that was Zesta. Zenit. Nini mnanitisha na majina zenu? What is Zenitel? Zenitel Emer. Hamujipedi? Hawezi kujiita George Nganga. Nikukopesha jina yangu kujiita George Nganga. Ever since I started listening to IQ, my thinking has really taken a different trajectory. Oh, if you had not added, and I love it, I would have said a prayer for you. The level of misleading people that goes on that channel, the level of manipulation that goes on there, teaching men how to hate women. But now you already say, you have spoiled my zinger by saying, Ed, you love it. 23 people. Oh, this is Eric Miner. Hey, Eric. Eric, let me make you a moderator. Let me see if I can find out how to do that. Add as a moderator. Very easy. There you go. Manage moderator can manage blocked words and change chat models in live, and also has capabilities of standard moderators. Standard moderators can review and remove chat messages and hide or put users on timeout. Hey, that's the one I want you to have. Sasa niko na prefect. Semeni ngwe. You will not know what hit you. Go person to person and see if those people commenting here are subscribed to this channel. If you find they are not, hello folks, this is Nganga Capital. Mr. MNN Kunora Newana. Wow. Mr. Moderator, why is that person here? Mr. Moderator, hujui kazi yako? Crypto bros. Are you the guy who was crying here the other day that that couple, those fakers of cryptocurrency, whatever they call, whatever that nonsense is, the ones that were faking that the online traders. Are you the guy who was crying here the other day saying that you got conned? I remember that name, Crypto Bros. We even had to bring an expert in Mr. Wero, the guy who lived in Kuala Lumpur. Now you're asking if is my Katia, this is my Katia. Yes, I have talked about this Katia. It's called Santos 100. They do not make these ones anymore. I think they ended up in 2017. These now are collectibles. The difference is the size. This big size is the right way of doing it. This way. This big size, they are no longer making them new. This is probably the best watch they ever made, at least in the 21st century. But they don't make them this big. So now this one is a collectible. Look at that little detail there in the back. That's where it says Santos. Santos 100. You cannot see everything. All right. It's one of my easy watch. I can wear this anywhere without having looking over my shoulders. Kiki's moment. Kinodia guy here, raised by a single mom, here to learn as always. I will say a prayer to you, Mr. Kikis. Kevin Miner is a member of this channel. I have cut my own hair too since 2016. I shave once every 2 days. I shave every shower. Every shower. Every shower. If there is a rare occasion, maybe once in 3 years, where I couldn't take a shower, I go on the sink and shave. That has happened probably once in 3 years. I take a shower every day. Don't tell that to that Jenzi Dwanzi that was on Ikonini, crying that he has been told to take a shower. He's going to make me an enemy. Actually, I have a video I want to cut to dunga him. I keep postponing it because better videos keep coming. But there is a video, I remember it very well, that we tackled on his victimhood. Eventually, I will cut it into a very good zinger content. Sababu mimi siyo wenu. Kinovia guys here raised by a single mom. You know you can run an AI on your phone without using internet to moderate all your social media platforms. Invite me on your channel where I can witness that happening in real time. Don't come here try to navigate my vessel in my own chartered ways and becoming the Otero. Is that why you're calling yourself capital? Are you trying to be the captain of this ship? Make a 5-minute video demonstrating how you do it. I'll be like, yeah, I have been missing all these good things. But there is no such thing. Let me preempt by saying it. You just want to come shine here with some fucking head knowledge you acquired on exit 16C on Thika Road. Boy. Did y'all see Professor Ogato Jr.? The way he moves around with his mobile studio with 3-dimensional walls. This guy here, if he saw that, hey, I watched your video with Professor Ogato from Canada. You know you can get those things on TikTok's shop. You know you can get those things on the cheap, on Amazon. But that statement is never, I got this at this place. I do this, because now your statement should have been, you know, I ran my AI on my phone without using the internet to moderate all of my social media platforms. That's not what you are saying, Kenobia. I don't know who you are. Your name is NGA. It does not make any difference. Me, I have lived 3 times your age. I speak from experience. I've been here, done that. You are speaking from some head knowledge that you acquired on exit 14 on Thika Road. Hatuwezi pelekana. Me, I am like an old guy stuck in the old ways, and then I invaded your modern world, learned everything there is need to be learned, and then use that knowledge about your own world that you're not taking advantage of, use that knowledge to whip your fucking lazy ass. Do you want me to say that nicely so that the message can get home? Because you are not used to be shouty word? You see, Kenovia is shining on your laptop too. I was very suspicious of you when you came up here with the name Nganga. You probably created that, you probably changed that name so that you can have some comadre with my name. And say, hey, ata mimi naitagwa Nganga. And then later on, you start spewing this Dwanzi-themed upus. Why am I harsh like this? Do you want me to answer my own question? Raise your hand if you want me to answer my own question. Everything here is premeditated. It's something Americans call mean tested. They have lived long enough, tried so many times to figure out what works. Mean tested. This is mean tested. It's the only thing that works. How do I know? Do you want to know? Raise your hand if you want to know. What am I looking for? I think I know how it looks like. Do I? There's something I'm looking for. Big singer, this one here. No. Man, I'm not gonna find it. Why are you so lucky today? This is the old system I used to use when I found it. Unfortunately, I found it. This is an app I used to use a long time ago before I did not know how to make music. I was grasping at straws.
Hello TikTokers wa TikTok, the doers is the James Goons. Hapa huwa moto ya kuotea mbali. Hii matiti yangu ni wa kunona, si ya kukunyonyesha. Hey! Ukiamua kuingia hapa, kwanza uwe umeacha upuzi, ushenzi, utoto, uenda wazimu na utovu wa nidhamu hukwa kwa mama yako. Mimi sio weno, mimi sitakubembeleza hapa. Asiyefunzwa na mamaye hukutana na ASKiQ. Walisha wazimu zako huko kijijiji kwenu na mitani yenu poto. Umbwa hichiwa wakiwete, hapa tunaguzia maswala ya kimizima. Kwa heshima, utulivu, upole, utu wema, nia njema na akili timamu. Watu wangu wa YouTube, my YouTube.
You get the gist of it? You know you can run an AI on your phone without using internet. No, tell me what you are doing, not what you can do. I will do is not doing. Eric Maina is now a moderator. Oh, you monitoring spirits that ask stupid questions, we will really feel it. Okay, let me make some. He's still talking. Baba motion. Bro, I'm a week in with streaming now. There you go. There you go. Send me some of your stuff that you're doing. Invite me to your life. Let us sit there and bask in the glory of you building something. That's the kind of stuff I want to be associated with. Mr. Baba Motion. Eric Maina is telling him he has 30 minutes to make that demonstration, by the way. All right, let me get to it. You see, there was nowhere. Every time I talk about something, I relate to a video I made 20 years ago. I say, go watch this video at the very bottom of my YouTube. You're going to find that conversation there. This guy now has to figure out, oh shit, George just called me out. Let me go do some Madagodanio. The same way the guy was reminding me the other day here that I said there was this Dwanzi from Nakuru who applied on LinkedIn of my daughter's company, that he is an expert in autonomous ecosystem, infrastructure management and creation and monitoring. And then he was put on a camera. He could not even say his full name in one sentence. The Ruto must go kind of guys. One term, the Tondra speak. I call it the Tondra speak. Tondra speak. One word, mama, baba, dada, lana. One word sentences. Tondra speak. You people come here expecting something different than what I deliver? Invite me to that something different. That which you wanted to see here, invite me to it in your spaces. This place is nothing but this. This is all you get. This is a very good moment for you to exit life. Energy is not changing into whatever you want it to be. You have two choices. Go recruit your father to speak better than me. I mean, the only thing he has to do is continue speaking like himself. Or you do that thing that you would wish I was the one doing it. Me, I will not do that thing. Nimekata. Your comment should relate to the level of IQ. Stupid sentences would be tolerated. If you have a meaningful question, place it in a meaningful way, and we shall be answered. Of course. I mean, you have been able to water down conversations everywhere else. All I'm asking is make this place an exception. You have been able to go to every place and trivialize conversations there. All I'm asking is 8 billion people, let me be the exception. The only place you cannot do that. You have been able to go to places and display your mannerlessness, your stupidity, your pettiness, your childishness, everywhere else. All I'm asking of all billions of spaces you could go to, this one is not going to be that one. I want you angry right now the way you just got angry in the last 2 seconds. That is my product. That anger you feel right now, that's my product. Yeah, the guy, what was his name? The one who said he has content. Yes, Baba in Motion. I can't wait to see your stuff. Baba in Motion. I can't wait to see your stuff. Today I have not played any music, except for that zinger to the Dwanzi. But all of a sudden you don't have a topic. Then the moment I start playing music, you don't know what to do with watching me create something. You start exiting. In Kikuyu, they ask, I went on a space a few days ago, 2-3 days ago. And there was a woman there that is a confused fan. So in her head, she tells herself that she hates me. I not even know she has blocked me until yesterday. I was surprising somebody on the inbox and I say, I just discovered this girl has blocked me on X. But anyway, when we were there, it was a Chapati Mistress space on X. She came flying. She has all the reasons to be angry at me because of my tweets. So I flipped the script on her. And I said, and told her she would be somebody I would be interested in having a baby with. You have not seen a feminist so confused they don't know what to do with femininity that they never knew existed in their life. She started getting wet and confused, and the sentences refused to sentence. So I doubled down and made her a song. Her name is Maria. I made a love song in her name that includes how much I have missed her and how much I still want her to come back and give me a big, tall, handsome son with those super genes of hers. I called the song her name.
I woke up this morning, Malia. Your side of the bed was cold. Yeah, I woke up this morning, Malia. Your side of the bed was cold.
I know Chapati Mistress is watching this right now. She is the reason that I made this song, because she is the one who encouraged that beef. Now here we are, stuck with a song on Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes and iHeartRadio and Deezer and TikTok and ASKiQ and everywhere else. I don't know what to do with your laugh. I have no idea what to do with your laugh. But your hate? Oh, come on. Your hate? Your hate? It's a beautiful product. Do you think I would make a song with a girl who likes me? A random stranger girl that agrees with me and tells me all the good things I'm doing online, and we meet on Spaces. Hey, Aki George, mimi napendaka penye unasema kuhusu. No. But hate? I know what to do with hate. You people think I'm kidding. I know what to do with hate. This is generational wealth.
I woke up this morning,
I did.
Malia. Your side of the bed was cold. Yeah, I woke up this morning, Malia. Your side of the bed was cold. Reached out in the silence, no soft arms for me to hold. Used to hear your footsteps echoing down the hall. Oh, I used to hear you laughing, Malia, echoing down the hall. Now the silence haunts me, won't say nothing back at all. Oh, my love, Malia. Don't you hear me call your name? Hey, baby, Malia. Don't you hear me call your name? I got a heart full of love, but it ain't got no place to lay. Your picture on the dresser, watching every move I make. Oh, your picture on the dresser, Malia, every tear I try to shake. I talk to it like you're here. Lord, how much can one heart break? Oh, my love, Malia. Don't you hear me call your name? Ooh, baby, Malia. Don't you hear me call your name? I got a heart full of love, but it ain't got no place to lay. The nights feel longer now, Malia. Every shadow reminds me of how you used to pull me close, make the world slow down. Where did you go, baby? I still see you carrying my tall, handsome son. In every dream, you're the only one. Oh, my Maria. Baby, don't leave me in this lonely end. I'm still here, talking to your picture again. Still hoping you'll come back and carry my son for me, Maria.
Give me all your hate. I know how to monetize it. Love is very useless. Very useless. Majority of you have the opposite of hate towards me. What is it good for? What is it good for? I don't see your love anywhere. I don't see your love anywhere. But hate? Come on, bro. On the same space where Maria was ranting, a guy came there and said he does not like me. I was deported from America, and I started a little channel, a YouTube channel in Kenya, and I'm driving a little car. He does not even know how I get gas to put the car from my little channel. And Mariam, not to be confused with Maria, he said, tell me about that channel. I don't watch it. In one of those videos on his channel, he said this and this. I thought you said you don't watch it. I don't watch it. But I had him saying, but I don't watch it. If you don't have hate, you would have no motivation to go watch. If you don't have hate, you would not be knowing everything I have done. Hate is my product. I need your hate. My whole act here is to make you angry, because anger will produce hate, and I know what to do with your hate. Please hate me. Please hate me. Maria, please hate me.
Oh, reminds me of how you used to pull me close, make the...
I was Kevin Minor. I was surprised to hear you call it African Christian religion. I hadn't heard that before. After keen observation, I realized Christianity in Africa is practiced in a peculiar manner. And there's something else you are following up with. How come Africans interpreted the book and practice it so oddly, unlike the rest of the world? The guy who wrote the Bible cannot recognize the Bible that is practiced in Africa. I get your point. The owners of Christianity, they cannot recognize it when they see it in Africa. I love it that way. I love it that way. Do you hear me talking about the Church of England in England? No. No. There's nothing there. I was in a 350-year-old church. It's called St. James in central London, on Piccadilly, across the street from Hotel Piccadilly. Hotel Piccadilly has been there for 110 years. St. James, 340 years. It's just a church. We sang Christmas carols on December 24. I've been to a church that is 186 years old in Notting Hill. Notting Hill is top 2 or top 3 richest area of Chelsea and whatever other name they give that borough. I was there for Christmas night. Well, the night before Christmas, the midnight mass. Just a regular church. We had some candles and we sang hymns and a little preaching, and the guy stood in the front and started saying hi to everybody. I have a video of me having a conversation with him about, whoa, you probably need to hear it. It was December 24. It was very, very powerful. I actually have a video of it, but I can't remember. But let's go to December 24, probably December 25, because the year had already jumped. December 25, where are we? December 25 in Notting Hill. What's the best way to find it? You will love that conversation. I guarantee you. What am I doing? If I had started by just the keyword Notting Hill, I would have gotten it.
Happy Christmas. Nice to see you. Very happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, yes. Happy Christmas.
Very happy Christmas. Good to see you.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Right, good to see you.
But my dad was back home.
Yeah.
Excellent.
George, yes.
I'm from Kenya.
I'm from Kenya.
Yes, and I live in
Beautiful
I live in the US with my son. He's somewhere
Yes.
hiding.
Yes.
There's something you said about the glory of God.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Christmas Mubarak. Good to see you, Aaron. Happy Christmas. Yes. Yes.
Say that to me one more time.
The glory of God is a human being. Christmas
Thank
Mubarak.
you. Have a good night. Bye.
The glory of God.
The glory of God is a human being fully alive. So that's from Irenaeus. And what makes us fully alive? God. Without God, we exist, but not fully alive.
The glory of God
Is a human
is a
being
human being fully
fully
alive.
alive. Christmas Mubarak.
Christmas, all right.
Say it. Good to see you.
I'm really pleased to see you. Boy.
Yes, likewise. You're with us tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Good. We need
Beautiful
you.
Ted.
Christmas Mubarak, Madam Mahsa. Aziza. There are
You
many
were very
Farsi
busy.
speakers.
You
Yeah.
had so many guests today.
Ah, I was on fire.
Wait till you hear my question. The manifestation of the glory of God is us fully alive.
Yes. So
we
without
fall-
God, we're not fully alive. That's the point.
We fall short of the glory of God when we don't live life fully.
Yes, and we don't live life fully when we're not living in God. Isn't it wonderful?
That touched me. There's something you said about the glory of God.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Christmas Mubarak. Good to see you, Aaron. Happy Christmas. Yes. Yes.
Say that to me one more time.
The glory of God is a human
Happy
being.
Christmas.
Christmas
Thank you.
Mubarak.
Have
Yes.
a good night. Bye.
The glory of
The
God.
glory of God is a human being fully alive. So that's from our.
That's midnight mass in a 186-year-old church. It's called St. John's. It's up the hill from Ed Sheeran's house in Notting Hill, London. The glory of God is a human being fully aligned. The manifestation of the glory of God is you fully living the full glory of God. his perfect will in mankind. That is the glory of God. I'm answering your question about African Christians. Because African Christians have twisted that to be the more you suffer, the more you partake with the glory of God. Because you have to suffer here so that you can inherit a better place in heaven. But this guy in a midnight mass said, the glory of God is a human being fully aligned. A person who is living life fully, that is somebody who is experiencing the full manifestation of the glory of God here on this planet, on this earth. But the black guy was told to suffer. Or he internalized, because he has no desire, he has no capability, he has no ability to create a piece of heaven here on earth. So he internalized suffering and somehow incorporated the glory of God fully aligned in suffering. The disconnect, the dissonance in it. So that's why I make those distinctions. African Christian religion. The white guy, this church is as British as British gets. That church has been there, was there over 100 years before the first missionary came to Kenya. It was already there over 100 years. That is the message they brought. But the black guy, because he has no ability to make heaven on earth, he took the message, turned it around, and said, suffering is where the glory of God is. And then became comfortable in his uncomfortabilities because he has no appetite to change the misery that he goes through in life. And for him to feel good about his ability, then he has to package himself as a victim and say, I am this way because of this other person. I'm this way because of this other situation. And when all those situations are taken out of the equation, he say, oh, wow, my heaven is in heaven. Duh. So he suffers in this hell that he has created for himself. That is why I call it African Christian religion. And also because it's a very good insult to insult Africans. It is one of the things they will remember. Right now, the conversation with the British guy, you have no idea what he said because you're not interested in that. The glory of God is a human being perfectly aligned. The manifestation of the glory of God is in us when we live our life fully. Don't tell that to a black guy. He has no appetite to live life fully. You know, the more I'm starting thinking about the situation that the black man has put his woman in, I'm starting now to understand why the black woman cannot submit to the black man. He brings nothing. When she goes there and compare herself with the Asian woman, when she goes out there and compare herself with a white woman, when she go out there and compare herself with other than a fellow black woman, those non-black men are providing things that are beyond the imagination of the capability and the ability of the black guy. So she has nothing to brag about is the thing that comes from the black guy, because the black guy does not contribute anything in the ecosystem of this world. The shoes she is wearing, the black guy did not make them. The clothes she would want to wear, the black guy did not make them. The car she would want to drive, the black guy did not make them. The kind of house she would want to live in, the black guy did not make it. The airplane, the vacation places, there is nothing black about the things she desires. And yet you still want her to be tethered with this inactive black guy. I'm starting to understand the black woman. When she is in the company of non-black women, those women say, oh no, my guy is the best. He's the one in control of all the finances in the world. He's the Jewish husband of mine. Oh no, my husband is the one who is in control of automobile ingenuity and exploration of the technology of vehicles. My husband is a Japanese guy. 8 out of 10 of cars in your country are made by my husband. Oh no, my husband is coming up with the modern technologies of road construction and bridges and dams. We have built a big dam, so big, it has slowed the clock a fraction of a second. My husband is responsible for the mega projects around the world. My husband is a Chinese man. And the woman, the black woman, is looking around. You know, my husband. Let's say he is the head of the family and he leads us in prayer so that we can have a better place in heaven when we go there. That is what my husband does. He leads us in prayer. We join hearts together and we pray to an imaginary God that will create better things than those you people are bragging about your husbands in heaven. That's my husband. Yahweh. Which one is the woman from AIG? Which one is the woman from AIG? I don't know that one. I think I'm starting to understand the frustration of the black woman. Inauma lakini itabidi mzoe, si ndio? Just make sure not to come here tomorrow. There will be more pain from me tomorrow. But you cannot help it. You are like a moth to the flame. You come here, you get angry because the truth was delivered to you in ways and in manners that were insensitive. And now you don't know what to do with that arrogant guy who thinks he is white because he lives in white people's country, always castigating and putting black people down. And then tomorrow you come for more. Haujipedi? Haujipedi? Congo Ian, do you think Christianity has outlived its usefulness, or are we outgrowing it? I'm asking this due to the decline in number of congregation in such places. The smartest human beings in Africa are the church conmen, aka the pastors. They are also the smartest businessmen in Africa, rivaled only by politicians. But in most cases, they outdo the politicians. Nobody understands the economics of scale more than a pastor in church. Nobody understands the market more than the pastor in church. Nobody understands how to micro-target your demographic and extract 10x better than the alternative, than the pastor in church. They know how to package their message. They know how to micro-target their customer. They have only one customer. a desperate woman. Churches all over Africa, they are catering to one person and one person only. The desperate woman. African pastors are geniuses. That's why I call them conmen. Conmen do not get the name conman because they conned one and got caught. They get the name conman because that has become their trade. That has become their career. That's why I call African pastors conmen. It's an endearing term. Their customer is one person and one person only. The desperate woman. There is a verse in the Bible that is continually emphasized. Continually emphasized. Njooni nyote mliobeba mizigo mizito na nitawapumzisha. Who do you think is being addressed? Desperate woman. I know, this is not what you want to hear. Desperate woman is the sole customer of the conman in church. That woman could be 32 or she could be 52, dependent on where she is in the scale of her desperation. The pastor knows exactly how to take care of her problem. That's it. There's no other woman, just one. The desperate woman. And he creates LLCs, DBAs doing business as. He creates branches of smaller companies to serve the main customer. So he comes up with Sunday school to take care of the children of this woman. She comes up with youth ministries. Because in the youth ministry, she is prepositioning himself to the customer of the future. He knows and he is at peace with the fact that the retention rate of the youths in church is below 35%. He knows that. Every time you hear a woman in their 20s speaking, a woman in their 30s speaking, men in their late 20s speaking, they speak about youth ministry from the past tense. He knows that. But he still invests in youth ministry because he knows if you love a bird so much, set it free. If it was yours, it will come back. If it was never meant to be yours, it will not come back. The pastor knows that. So he creates youth ministries and he rides with these young people at the heat of the moment of their very young, tender age of their youth. And then they discover the world. And they go. He lets them go. It's much easier to let them go than to manage that energy inside of the church. That's why I say the retention rate is at 34%. In every 100, only 34 remain. Those are the ones that he prepares for the next sub-company that he has created of the same customer, the desperate woman. Sunday school services, youth ministries. Then he has women's groups of all kinds. prepare them for marriage, prepare them for courtship. He has created an ecosystem around which there is a lot of inbreeding. And then he knows that the success rate is very low of maintaining them that inbreed in his church. But he lets them go. They go have babies, and they bring the children to the Sunday school. That's why the best primary schools, let me use the term elementary schools, kindergartens and daycares and all these are led by the church, because the conman in church prepared a product of the future of the people he is molding through the stages of his ecosystem. When they go, they remember the church. They bring the children to daycare, because chances are that relationship of the inbreeding of the people in the church is not going to last. The woman is going to be desperate, which is exactly where he wants her. Desperate. Then he offers her a secure place for her child. The ecosystem of the Sunday school continues. It creates daycares. It creates kindergartens. It creates elementary schools. Churches that have progressed over multiple layers of that system have the best primary schools, have the best high schools, have the best universities. Homegrown. The pastor in church is serving one person, a desperate woman. When she goes out there and gets divorced, she comes back, because that is the only place that looks familiar. She had taken a break, been there, done that, did all those club things that you see with those danguros in clubs. But he knows, mwenda tenzi na omo maregeo ni gamani, she will come back there, and there will be a ministry ready to accommodate her and accept her and sanitize her and reset her 99 body count. Only one customer. If she goes there and succeeds in marriage, she is frustrated like hell, because the man is unavailable. Emotionally unavailable, physically unavailable, in every manner of way unavailable. He becomes the husband. He becomes the psychologist. He becomes the psychiatrist. He becomes the marriage counselor. The customer is only one person, the desperate woman. So when things go sideways for her, she circles back, because that is where it looks familiar. That's where she knows there is this blanket of hypocrisy themed by the African Christian religion, that she cannot be judged. She knows she's going to be judged, but in hush-hush. It is not as hush as the fucking family members and relatives. So she goes back to where it's familiar. And there is a blue kitaba ready for her. She even gets a uniform. She's now called Mothers Union. She's called Women's Guild. She's called the Young Mothers of the Church. They open a separate group to accommodate women that do not have husbands. Women who 2 decades ago would not be buried by the church, would not have their children baptized by the church or confirmed by the church, because they did not have a wedding in church and they do not have husbands. The conman in church looked around and said, hey, there is a demographic here that we are losing to the world. So now there is a category of women my age that do not have husbands. The children are grown and they are gone. She cannot fit in the traditional Mothers Union and Women's Guild because of the alleged rules of Mothers Union and Women's Guild. So the pastor looked around and said, no. This is home. We are going to create a separate category to accommodate this woman. This is a hybrid, desperate woman. So now they have their own uniform. They have their own girl power, doing girl power things that are not traditional to the women's guild and not traditional to the women's guild. But they are right there, borderline. There is a leeway, there is some excuse that is being allowed there. They make their own rules, but they circle back to the church. On Sunday, they are holy. But they would not fit in Mother's Union because Mother's Union is rigid. They will not fit in Women's Guild because Women's Guild is rigid. This one here accommodates women my age that still want to be there and be Mama Waharia. But on Sunday, they wear the uniform and they belong. They put the kitamba. Now they are the modern day Women's Guild. One product, a desperate woman. That woman is fully accepted in a place where otherwise she would have been judged internally by the traditional church or externally by the family members. She finds home in church. The husband is cheating. She confides with the pastor. The husband left and married another woman because she started commercializing and weaponizing sex. Now she gets sex in the church. You did not hear that part. You pretending you're not hearing that part. She gets sex in church. It is safe that way. Everything now is inside the ecosystem because there is only one customer of the church, the desperate woman. The church conman knows that. One person only, a desperate woman in various stages of her life, of her age, and multiple levels of her desperation. He offers the solution. Whether it's something as a social need, as a daycare, or a kindergarten, or an elementary school, or a little clinic, social services. And she is fully endeared to that church. In return, then there are the rules of the tithe and offerings that she is more than willing to give because that's where home is. Women are conning their children of money with pretentious imaginary problems so that they can have money to take to the pastor. You are pretending you did not hear me, but you know the money you give your mother. She takes it to the pastor in church on Sunday, and then they bring mahoya on Wednesday atatu kwa mwezi kwa nyumba yenu, because now they have invested in knowing that your mother can guilt trip all of you, 5 of you, to send her money. The pastor is dealing with a desperate woman. Yeah, the pastor. I know what I'm talking about when I say African Christian religion. A white guy would never recognize African Christian religion. It's not the same product. It may look like it. Have you seen Maestro, the vehicle the Chinese have created? It's S550, like the one outside my house. It does not look like S550 on the inside. It is not operating like S550 on the outside. But when you see it, you are like, isn't that F550? That's how the Muzungu looks as the church. That building has a cross. It has to be a church. But the practices there, it's nothing compared to the 340-year-old church I went to on Piccadilly in central London, or the 186 St. John's Church I went to in Notting Hill, in Chelsea. The African Christian pastor is the smartest conman, planet Earth has ever seen. He also has products for politicians. I don't even talk about that. Politicians go to the church to be validated because he has a product. The most reliable voter, the woman, the middle-aged woman, the elderly woman are in church. Those are the most reliable voters. They vote their heart. You fuckers vote your emotions. Young women don't vote. The woman in church, she votes her heart. So when the pastor brings a politician to church, they do that nod. You know what's up? I know what's up. When I was new in America, I used to go to Shoreline Christian Center Church. So this church in Notting Hill, you can hear him talking Arabic because it's a community church. People from all over the country, like that woman was from Syria, they come to that church, St. John's, the one in Notting Hill, because it's a community church. People from all over the world are there. Vietnamese, people from Thai, they are there because it's a community church. The church I used to go to, Shoreline Christian Center, it is the same. When I was new here and it was election time, let's say it's 2002, because elections run during the even years. That pastor brought in politicians. One of the politicians was in a wheelchair. He was running to be the Attorney General of Texas. Guess what? He is now the governor of Texas. Why? Because the pastor knows the right demographic that vote from the heart, not from the emotions. So the politicians know to go to be validated inside the church, whether it's in North Austin or it's in any church in Kenya. The politicians know that the church conman has prepared the best voting demographic, because those people inside the mortar and brick of the church, they vote with their heart, not with their emotions. And they listen to the conman for direction. That's why they call him Daddy. Imeuma ya kutosha. I'm only doing this because I know how much you hold your fucking African Christian religion to heart, because you're trying to suppress the doubt that you know it's a fake shit. That's the only reason I'm going this deep. I want to hurt your little feelings so that you can wish a hell for me. But you are already living in hell here on earth. But you are comfortable with your uncomfortabilities. You just want to scare me with what you think I deserve, except that is exactly where you are, in hell. Huyo tutamwombea, tutamwachia Mungu. All those inactive activities. When a woman says she wants a God-fearing man, where? Do you have time for that one? Our village has 22. Whoa, this is Trevor Noah. Our village has 22 churches, but 0 clinic, 1 primary school, 1 secondary school, and 0 polytechnic, 0 factory. The product is a desperate woman. Miss Masawa, the lady in DC, the one from Congo, she keeps saying here like it's a joke, we need to open a church, because she can tell I have understood the church product. It's one customer, a desperate woman. That's it. That's it. Now, you are so confused. I was about to say that earlier. You are so confused when you look at somebody like Pastor Lai. Not, is it Lai? What is his name? Kibe's friend. What is his name? His name is not Lai. Lai is the politician. Anyway, it will come to me. When you look at him, you get confused. Bulale. Thank you so much. Robert Bulale. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you. Sheki Getogu, bwana. Come on, Sheki Getogu. Come. Did you have to go there? Duke of Kiev. Thank you. When you look at Bulale, you are like, George, you have said something for 15 minutes. It does not match Bulale. Bulale does not have a church. Bulale has a pastor. Because he is a DBA, doing business S for the pastor. Have you looked at Tata, the company called Tata? You look at a company called Tata, it has like 49 companies around it. Let me see if I can pull it off to make that vivid example. T-A-T-A. Ah! I just searched the word Tata on my phone, on my photos, and it showed up. It highlighted the name Tata because of the search. All these companies are subsidiaries of Tata. Let me read them to you. They have aerospace and defense branch, and they make Tata Advanced Systems. They have finance, so they have Tata Capital, Tata AIA, and Tata AIG. They have infrastructure, so there is Tata Consulting and Engineering, Tata Projects, Tata Housing, Tata Towers. They have metal, so they have tin plate, they have Tata Steel, they have Tata Spoj, they have Tata Blue Scope Steel, Metal Links. Let's just stop at motor vehicle. In the motor vehicle, they have Tata Motors, they have Tata Autocop System, they have Tata Jaguar, they have Tata Land Rover, they have Tata Marco Polo, and they have Tata Daewoo. You're so confused now because you thought Jaguar and Land Rover belong to the British. It belongs to Tata. They have retail. They own Starbucks. They own Soya. They own all these companies. You get the point. There is telecommunication. There is a chemical industry. There is IT, telecommunication, travel and tourism, trade and investment, consumer, retail, automotive. So they have multiple branches. So somebody like Bulale has a pastor who has a church. Bulale is one of these people in the inner circle, right there. But the guy in the middle, that is the pastor. So there is somewhere he goes to a pastor. His is youth ministry, because his job in the ecosystem of the church conman's only customer, one woman, one desperate woman. His part of the ecosystem is to prepare Kenothias to marry that desperate woman who has hit the wall. Where do you want her to go? The pastor creates DBAs, doing business S, and Bulale leads one of those branches. Youth ministry. Prepare a young guy, condition them. I'm going to use deliberately the word brainwash them into the ways that would fit the desperate woman who can otherwise not get a sweeter. Bulale prepares them, channel them in church. The church conman takes over and connect Bulale's product with the main product, the desperate woman. Bulale does not have a church where he goes open the church on Saturday and turn on the lights and pay bills and no. He's run a ministry. It's a branch like Tata. He's here in this inner circle. So the Kiunas, the Makariokis, Joseph Kamau of Happy Church. Joseph Kamau of Happy Church, Nakuru, has a guy who was a little older than me when we were at Happy Church. Come on, I'm not going to remember his name. I was this close to remembering his name. He is running Happy Church, Nairobi. That's how that ecosystem works. And you find, like that particular guy I'm talking about, his youth ministry is specifically for women. Rehabilitate them and bring them to church. Bring them to the businessman. Bulale prepares Kenodias, bring them to church, and then pew, the magic happens. The smartest people after politicians, sometimes they overdo politicians. So when you hear me talking about African Christian church, I wanted to sound like an insult so I can pay attention. But that is the long and the short of it. Wangari, not Wangari. Wairimu Nelson. When I was young, Wairimu Nelson was an evangelist. Zero church. She used to hold meetings at Uhuru Park, Nairobi. I attended one of those. I gave that story when I was telling my daughter, we are on the 19th floor of a condo, and I'm telling her that house looks familiar. Because in 1994, we spent a night there, and it was the auntie's house of my high school girlfriend. The following day was a Sunday. We went to Wairimu Nelson's church. Well, Wairimu Nelson's crusade. Wairimu Nelson runs a crusade at the time. At the time, evangelists don't have churches. They have ministries. And if you look at the demographic, it tells you exactly who is the target market. Tony Makerecha, he's probably now in his 60s. He came to America before me. He was the official interpreter, translator, English to Swahili, of Wairimu Nelson. He married a beautiful church girl called Kate at Happy Church. Tony is probably 7-8 years older than me. At church. And now he became the poster child of the youth. Now that is the measuring yard. So now these people, Bulale is preparing, now they have a reference point in Tony Makerecha. Tony Makerecha, last time I checked, I came to see him here when I came to America. He was in Arlington, Texas, in the land of the Kisses. Near Dallas. So there is always this tokenism of the successful couple that got married in church. And now Bulale, Boala is his name. The Happy Church guy in Nairobi. Bernard Boala. He runs the Happy Church branch in Nairobi, with a wife that he picked up in Happy Church Nakuru. So their ministry caters for the women, rehabilitate those women. And then Bulale, quotations, Kenovias, and now they meet in church. And then there will be one or two tokenism of the success of the youth ministry marriages. And it's amplified to hell and back. And now if the boys from Bernard Boala and the boys from Bulale, now they look at that and say, I want to be that. That's the success story. The ministry continues. Bernard Bola, probably 4 years older than me. Same ministry with Tony Makerecha. Me at the study blacks, bro. So this, I was at Wairimu Nelson. Wairimu Nelson at the time was an evangelist. You know him, you know her now as the woman who said the prayer at the inauguration of President Ruto at Kasarani. If you had paid attention, you would have known her as the one who was leading a church inside the official residence of Deputy President Ruto in Karen. The same Wairimu Nelson from my early 20s. So she morphs dependent on the product. Smartest people on earth. Well, at least in Africa. So the term church conman, it's an endearing term. It's not an insult. I have no problem in insulting anybody. It's to showcase how smart. People don't get conman. People don't get the title conman for conning somebody once. They get the title conman for making it a career successfully. That's how that game is played. So this guy I'm talking to in Notting Hill, London, cannot relate with the church in Kenya. It's not the same church. The building may have the cross, but inside there, it's a whole new ecosystem. Not to dwell on it, but it would look to him, it would look like, you know that drink called Tito's vodka? Yeah, actually, I was looking for the word vodka. There's a vodka called Tito's vodka. It's everywhere. I saw it in Carrefour in Westlands. It's made here in Austin. They make vodka. It's called Tito's. Very, very popular. My customer had an operation for a tequila from Mexico for 3 years. Very successful company. They were bringing tequila here because tequila can only be made in Mexico. For 3 good years, they ran a very successful operation of bringing tequila here. They did very good marketing. That tequila became the #1 tequila in California. It is a big deal because California borders Mexico. There are so many varieties of tequila across the border, but theirs became #1 for Miss Lori. Tito's vodka offered my customer $220 million to buy the distribution of that tequila. During the lockdown in 2020, they shut down production of Tito's vodka and instead started producing hand sanitizers. This is where I was going with that story. Hand sanitizers during the lockdown. Some of you are too young to remember the lockdown that happened in 2020. It's how fast things have gone. It's been 6 years. They shut down production of Tito's vodka, and started producing hand sanitizers. The people who brought religion to Kenya, if they walked into African Christian church, they would not recognize it the same way you would not recognize Tito's vodka if you went there and found them producing hand sanitizers. That's how it has separated from its original meaning. I was looking for a good analogy. Sheikh Kitongu says we export tears to Tata. Tata for the trucks. Eric Kubusha, how are humans? Uh-oh. Eric, umelala na kazi yako. Will this ecosystem survive in the future, especially with the rising criticism, awakeness among the youth? You are not hearing me, my friend. Remember what the original question was? The original question from Kunguian was, are the churches in the US about... No, that was not the original question. Do you think, it is the same guy, do you think Christianity has outlived its usefulness, or are we outgrowing it? I am asking this due to the decline in the number of congregants in such places. I just told you, the church only serves one person, a desperate woman. A desperate woman is not going anywhere. Now, if we follow up with your question, what you're asking right now is, will this ecosystem survive in the future, especially with rising criticism, awareness among the youth? The youth are not the customers. The customer is a desperate woman. Desperate woman is not going anywhere. The desperate woman is getting more desperate. If you are now talking about the criticism and the awareness, all these things are happening in the youth, are going to produce directly a desperate woman, indirectly a desperate woman. She's still going to end up in church. A desperate woman is not going anywhere. You did not hear anything I said if you're still asking the same question. Desperate woman is not going anywhere. She is multiplying now more than ever before. I was reading something 2 days ago and said, if you go to the clubs in Nairobi, well, they started by saying, it used to be, if you went to the club in Nairobi, it was full of men and just a few women. Now it's full of women and just a few men. Where do you think those women will end up? Women cannot survive on their own. Eventually, women are going to look for a man to attach themselves with. If you have rejected with awareness and with the masculinity messages and with the red pill message and the effects of feminism, you have rejected the woman, where do you think that woman is going to go? The only place where she can find a weak man, a soft man, a yes man, is in church, because Pastor Bulale has prepared that man and channeled that man to the church. So all those women you see in the clubs, they are still going to end up in church. There's no escape route. Because at the end of the day, those women will want to attach themselves with a man who can take care of them. That is the phenomenon. I put it there today on X, and then at the end of it, I said, I know you're not going to get it. So I'm going to read it very quickly, and you're not going to get it, and I'm not going to explain it. Women in bad situations try to make the best of the worst situation with a man who has made the best out of his worst situations. Kenodia ends up being cheated the opportunity to reward himself with the best of her situation. And more importantly, he is denied the satisfaction of rewarding a woman who would have shared her best with him. with the best of himself, chances are you won't get it. End of good. That woman, the only place where she has a chance of getting that kenodia is the product from Bulade's ministry. So she will still end up in church. Come on. How many, and this is purely me demonizing women with tattoos, just in case you miss it when I say it. How many women have you started seeing wearing a wedding gown with tattoos on their body? That has never been the case. You couldn't find any 10 years ago. But now, the Bulade's ministry, the Bernard Boala's ministry, is working in conjunction to make sure that they prepare the Bulade's guy and the rehabilitated woman with the tattoos back to the church, and church bells are ringing because the woman is getting more desperate. One customer, a desperate woman, is the customer of the conman in church. All these other things are subsidiaries to make sure that the needs of the desperate woman are met inside the church. We listen, we don't judge. Duke of Kiev, is the Wairimu the same as Teresia Wairimu? Yes, of the Faith Evangelistic Ministry. At the time, in my 20s, she used to call herself Wairimu Nelson. She was married to a Mzungu. She quoted him a good one before the name Kiokoto had a name. And she lived happily ever after. Oh, bro. Hey. She's from Kabete, Kiaburu. Now she is Teresia Wairimu. She repackaged herself, moved from evangelist to pastor inside the second most prestigious public housing in Kenya, the Deputy President's official residence. Panacheza bwana. Not forget, this is a Kungwen. Not forgetting Kanyari and Marion Naipei. Same story as you have said. Did you see how easily you people, without even knowing what to make of it, you made peace with it? Let me say that one more time. Do you now recognize how easy it was for you to make peace with the rehabilitation of Marion into Kanyari's church? Because even if you did not have the words to explain it, it was the obvious. You may want to suppress your doubt and say it's an exception and start castigating Kanyari, but he keeps showing it in your face for so long because he's forcing you to normalize it. This is what my product is. One desperate woman. End of story. Pastor Nganga, the same thing. One desperate woman. Kiuna, is that the one the husband died? And now the wife is telling everybody that she had a child before she met the pastor? And the pastor knew that he was marrying a single mother? Is that the same people? Is that the Kiuna guy? The one who died of steel wire smoothie? talking, if it's the same person, she's now talking to the single mother by saying proudly, I was a single mother when I got married to the biggest pastor that has ever happened in Africa. Why are you people so quiet? Munaogopa Mungu Africa. Si munikonfirmie kama I'm talking about the same person. Pastor Kiuna mwenye alikufa. I read somewhere, somebody tell me if it's the same person, that he spent 470 million Kenya shillings on treatment here at MD Addison. Yes. Dennis Morange. Yes. Kadhi Kiuna. And he, Pastor Kiuna, or whatever he was being called, Bishop, Jesus, he made everybody know that he did not spend his own money. You gave him the money to spend at MD Addison, 480 million of it, to treat cancer from steel wire smoothing. Now the wife is telling the women, the product, the one product, the desperate woman, she's telling them on louder speakers, I was a single mother when Bishop married me. What do you think that message is? What do you think? Is that dog whistling? Sitawahi vaa nguo za green tena, zinakuja na energy baya. I'm starting to touch the anointed ones of God. Oh, the God-fearing part. There was an original question. Is the same guy? Kunguyan. Let's see the original question about the God-fearing. This is from Joe Diabo. This is my favorite Luo guy. He gives me the reason to speak Jaruo, to speak the Luo. Joe Diabo, onge watch maber kabisa. That's why they call themselves godly women, and they want God-fearing man. Nobody questions the black woman when she says that she's looking for a God-fearing man. Nobody gives it a second look, double take, second take. You guys are not ready for that conversation. Mutanistaki kwa Mungu wenu. Mutanistaki kwa Mungu wenu. George UK man, is victimhood in our DNA? I'm an influence in society. I'm just curious. The reason I ask is because children are born with a strong focus on their own needs. Later, they learn dunia haitakiuzembe. For correction, George, is that what's your name? Yeah, George UK. Children are very, very aware of where their needs are met. The father is the God. The father meets all the kids' needs. The kids knows that. the kids take all her needs, all her desires, all her requirements, all her requests to daddy, because daddy is God. The only person who, number one, does not know that he's God is the dad. And number two, who believes in looking for another God somewhere else is the same dad. So what happens now to your question is, when the kid is no kid no more, she starts questioning, why is my God praying to another God? I take all my needs to him. He meets all my needs. He answers all my prayers. Why is he doing this other thing here? And he is not the one in control. He is worshiping the God of mama. So the kid gets disoriented. Because if the father is the one leading in the worship of his God, that's a different story. That's the social order. But the modern man is following the God of the woman. Which is why the question about the youth are now rejecting the church and they are not going to church and they are questioning the faith is because of precisely the same reason. This God that they are being told to worship is not the God of their fathers, is the gods of their mothers. They are innately rejecting that dysfunction that happened because the father is the one who creates a relationship with God in solitude. A man does not need to bring his wife or his children in his company with God. That's a relationship him only has with his God. Moses demonstrated that before you start imagining shit. Moses did not take the Mongeke to Mount Sinai. He went by himself. Even Jesus, in the company of men, 144 of them, separated himself when he was talking to his God in Golgotha. Or is it in the Garden of Gethsemane? In the biggest, most described buildings of worship in the Bible, the high priest went before God by himself in the inner room, in the Holy of Holies, by himself, because man has company, has a relationship with God, just the two of them. Then he comes there with the glory of God and he expands to the women and to the children. So your generation are looking at your father, if you are lucky to have one of those, following the God of the woman. The woman we just described gets all her needs met in the church. That's the genesis of why the young generation are rejecting the church. Because naturally they cannot align with a woman, God. There is this guy in the Bible. Tell me if it's Solomon or it's David, who was misled. Actually, it's David. Is it not David who is God's best friend? But that relationship was messed up when he started pandering to the gods of the women he married. That's the same thing now is happening in modern society. The reason you young people are rejecting the church because you cannot recognize that church. You cannot recognize that God that is brought home by the mother. Women have no God. It was Solomon, okay? It was Solomon. His relationship with God was turned away, was made sour, because he started worshiping the gods of the beaches. This is the guy with 1,000 women, 600 wives, 400 concubines. Or the other way around. Don't shine with me. Hey, you were 600 concubines, the wives were the 400. So the modern, the young guys these days are looking like, I don't recognize this God of my mother. And it looks like my mother just go get fucked by the pastor in church. I'm rejecting that. That's what you people are rejecting in church, because you can tell there is a thickness in there. But in her defense, the woman is getting all her needs met in the church. Because your father is incapable, he is absent, one or the other. A woman can never be wrong. A woman can never be wrong, because a woman is self-preserving. She is doing what is in her own best interest. You cannot guilt somebody who is selfish to her own needs. Shaking it on now, you are shining. Oh, it was 700 wives. The concubines were 300. It's not 60-40. It is 70-30. So the woman wants a God-fearing man, because she has no intention to share with this stranger man the things she does with her God. Hello? Hello? The expectations, the demands, the requirements of the woman to her husband, I have them in 5. Respect, obey, submit, honor, and follow the man. One more time. Submit, obey, honor, respect, and follow the man. She has no intention of doing any of those things to the husband. Somebody else is already getting that. She is submitting to the pastor in church. She is honoring the pastor in church. She is respecting the pastor in church. She is submitting to the pastor in church. She is following the direction and the leadership of the pastor in church. She needs you to fear her God to a point where you don't demand for her to respect you, to honor you, to submit to you, to follow your direction, because she is already doing that to somebody else. That's why women ask that the only condition I ask is that the man be God-fearing, because he needs to be guilted into not wanting to share honor, respect, obedience, submission, and follow with the God in church. Because this one here is permanent. This one understands her frustration. This one understands her needs. She was doing just fine without you. She can see a future in the church, because there are women who are at different stages of their lives inside the church, in blue uniform and blue kitabas, that are thriving inside the ecosystem of the church. She can see security and stability and promise in that ecosystem. When you come into her life, don't disrupt that, because chances are things are going to go sideways and she's still going to end up that. How does she know? Because majority of the women older than her are in that stage already, where things already went south for them. That's why they are there in uniform, in blue uniform. So she's not ready to submit to you. She's not ready to honor you. She's not ready to obey you. She's not ready to respect you. She's not willing to follow your direction, because you are going to mislead her to desert her ways of assurance. in the ecosystem of the church. So she needs you, Kenovia, to fear God. So that when she denies you sex, you stay there and suffer. Because what would the church say if you walked away from this? You need to fear damaging the image of a church woman. Kenovia. She has no desire, she is not planning whatsoever to give you an inch of respect. Between the pastor and the boss at work, she's covered. She's covered. Kazi yako ni kulipa bills. Half of the children are not going to be yours. Kenovia. You think I make this shit up? Me, I'm a social observer. Didn't they exhume somebody recently? Because 25 children came claiming to be the children of the guy who died some times back. They exhumed this Negro with a court order. A DNA test was done on the 25 children. No más uno was his child. And you think you are the exception, boy. Somebody who knows the story I'm talking about? A guy had dropped dead many years ago. And then children came from the woodworks, from different women who were benefiting from his riches and his profession. And they said, we want a cut of the dead guy's estate. A DNA test was done recently. Don't make me look it up on AI. Only one of the 25 children was his. And you, Kenovia, you are going to accept the rule of you have to be God-fearing. And you expect that child to have your ears? You expect that child to have your chocobo? Ah, 4 of them. Like a guy. 4 of the 25 children were his. 4. 4. Timothy Mochache, why did you delete that comment? The best examples are the women on social media with a biblical quote. Ho ho! Those are the desperate ones. Those are the customers of the church. But what was your point? The best example are the women on social media with a biblical quote on their bio, but their posts show the direct opposite. Bro, if you people are not strangers, I would have told you a story of a girl I met in 2017 when she was 21 years old. From heaven. If you Googled in 2017, most beautiful black woman in Kenya, she would have landed in the center of your search engine. Yawa. Hey! Did you see me the other time I was in Trevor Noah in Nairobi in the center in Nairobi downtown, and I'm looking at women, young women passing. I'm wow. Hey, Kenya kuna wasichana warembo. Hao ni watoto wa watu. That's how she looked. 1 gigabyte. Unasema nini bwana? 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. So now she's 30. About 3 years ago, I started seeing a complete metamorphosis of her WhatsApp updates. Slowly by slowly, they start changing into Bible quotes because of the stage of life where she is at the time. Slowly by slowly. I knew her when she was 21 in 2017. 7 years later, life has happened in her life. It is one of the very few cases of the sentence I'm not going to finish. With time, the WhatsApp updates started changing. Last time I checked, probably 2 years ago, Bible quotes, bro. Bible quotes. Before you know it, she has a kitaba. The pictures now start changing, not the dust traps. The pictures now, and I saw somebody else on Twitter doing the same thing. Hey, coming from church, Sunday tradition. Have you ever seen that picture of a woman running in high heels on Twitter? Going to get an ice cream from a little ice cream truck and say, church tradition, wearing a dress and a kitaba. What do you think has been the complete metamorphosis of her life? That was the girlfriend from 2017. This is the same girl I took Kempiski, and she was so afraid that if I went to the bathroom, I might disappear and she may not be able to pay the bill. I had to leave her with $100 bill. You see, hata nikipotea hii inatosha kulipa hii bill. The same girl, 2017. If you are strangers, I would have continued to describe her, but if you are not strangers, but Jesus Christ, Jesus Cristo, Yahweh. And they move from their natural hair, and with time, they get glue, and they put it on their head, and they put some dead hair from Bangladeshi and from the sacrifice of hair temples of India, and they put it on their head. And now it carries the energy of the thing of the woman in India or Pakistan was trying to get rid of when she shaved her head clean. Now all those bad energies are on her. Have you ever noticed that your girlfriend, when she's wearing that thing, and when she's just have regular African matuta with some extension, she looks totally different? Even her energy is different, because the energy of that wig is from something that was being donated into this sacrifice ceremony of shaving the head by the Indian woman in a temple. Now she's carrying that anger. She's carrying that death. She's carrying that disease. She's carrying that misery. She's carrying that unhappy relationship. She's carrying that dissatisfaction. It is all in her head. Even her look changes. You are not ready for that conversation. Because, I mean, look around right now in real time. Look around. You are even uncomfortable being seen by her, listening to me saying about her hair because she's wearing that. Me, I'm only talking to men. So she conditions you on how to defend her from George. Now you already have a label: misogynist, chauvinist, women hater. All you do is talk about women. You are defending her to tolerate her because it's now lopsided. You are the one who has to respect her. You are the one who has to honor her. You are the one who has to submit to her. You are the one who has to follow her direction. The demands are lopsided, but you are not ready for that conversation. You are the woman in the relationship, but now that's an insult. So I'm not going to tell you that. She is the man. She's the one who wears the pants, but that's just pointing the obvious. So I'm not going to say it. The bad guy is me. Chauvinist, women hater. Nyinyi na kibe hakuna kitu kingine mnaongeaga ni kuchukia wanawake tu. That's it. That now solves your problem. That's why she needs you to be God-fearing. I was still answering the question. Yep. Timothy saying, I had to confirm because I thought you were talking of a different guy. He was a Uganda guy. 4 of the 25 children were his. His name is Paul Kafero. Wachira is asking, how let me see, this question has to be a good one. How are you? That's not how I had read it until I saw you. How are you able to switch your brain to become a Kenyan of 2-term and then switch back to an American of making the world better? This guy had to go and buy a membership so that he can have the legitimacy of asking me the question. He was like, the only way to get through George is through the membership. Let me buy that membership so that I can ask that burning question. I have the answer. Sipsi Kenya tea. Me, I'm a guy of discipline. You give me Hitler, Hail Hitler. You give me Hitler. And my only takeaway from him is going to be his discipline. That's just how I see it. I am going to the most extreme thing so that now Ruto looks like child play. You give me Hitler. My only takeaway from him is discipline. That's it. That's it. The problem with your generation, you have confused role models with mentors. Somebody can be your role model and they don't even know that you consider them as role model because you observe them from afar. It's the good things they do, it's the great things they do, it's the attribute that you can use yourself, you can apply about them when you look at their success. And you are like, I would want to be like that. And it looks like the only way he is like that is because of the discipline, it's because of the consistency, it's because of the perseverance, it's because of kujituma. But you want a mentor. You want to be showing up at their house at 6 o'clock in the morning. You want to be going to the gym with them. You want to be taking coffee with them. You want to be in the room listening to a conversation when his girlfriend is calling, but he is married. Now you start judging him because you are too close to him and you know too much about him. With time, you actually think you know the guy. All of you. Wait for it. There's an insult there. Don't miss it. All of you actually believe you know Ruto more than you know your own biological fathers. Tell me if I'm wrong. That's why every time somebody speaks something about Ruto, I ask them, give me an example about your father that is comparable or different from that which you disagree about Ruto. That conversation dies. I told you there will be an insult there. Now you don't know what to do with this conversation. You are like, George, can't you move to other things? Haiko uleta baba yako kwa equation. All of you, you believe you know Ruto more than you know your fathers. Because uninvited, you apportioned Ruto to be your mentor. Now you know everything about him. Everything. You are in there listening to the Kashungua calling, and you are like, oh shit, this guy is my mentor and he's cheating on his wife. He's not even cheating with one woman. My goodness, there's another woman over there that's saying she's pregnant. That 2 days ago, another one was we went to the maternity to pick up this one. Now you become the expert of Ruto's life. But a role model, you observe them from afar. Hiyo insult haijaingia. Close your eyes. If I did not mention this, it was so obvious, you did not think it was a topic of discussion. You know more about Ruto than you know about your own father. That. I'm staying here for that to sink. All of you. And before I said it, it was like, duh, yes, he's the president, but that's not the reason for you to be involved in his business. So the question was, how are you able to switch your brain to become a Kenyan of two-town and then switch back to an American of making the world better? Give me Hitler. Show me examples of his achievements that were brought by him being consistent, him being disciplined, him staying the course. I want that Hitler. But he did this, the other, and he roasted the babies. Can we have the babies for breakfast? But I still want the guy. The guy who is disciplined, I want that guy. The guy who is consistent, I want that guy. But he said this and he said the other. I want the disciplined guy. When history is written, those are the things that are going to matter. Nyinyi ni mtu mwingine mtatafuta wagushuha na nye zake. Let me show you what I mean. This is 4 days ago. I wrote that. Raila Odinga attempted to overthrow the government. He became a billionaire. Billionaire Kenneth Matiba led a peaceful rally at Kamukoji grounds. He lost everything and died broke and broken. 2 men, 2 paths, 1 nation. What will history remember? You have no appetite for the end of the spectrum because you have borrowed the fluctuating emotional roller coasters of your women, of your mothers. So you always react to the immediate. When Ruto was president, when Ruto was alive, he had as many haters as he had admirers. Right now, he's a saint. So what is history remembering of him? The things that matter is what history remembers. Kennedy Matiba, my very, very fond memories of Kennedy Matiba. He was Minister for Transportation. We were in primary school. He did a fundraiser to bring water in Keharo constituency, where he was the member of parliament, the same place where Didi Nyoro is the member of parliament. When I was a child, I am older than your mother and your father combined. When I was a child, Kennedy Matiba had a fundraiser to bring water to Keharo. He walked from Nairobi to Keharo. He walked from Nairobi to Keharo to raise money for pipe water in Keharo. Keharo still have the same water problem it had 100 years ago when I was 7 years old. I am old enough to remember August 1st, 1982, when Raila Odinga led the failed coup attempt against Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi's administration. I'm also old enough to remember July 7th, 1990, when Kennedy Matiba led the Sabasaba movement's pro-democracy rally at Kamukoji grounds, calling for a dialogue with the government and the restoration of multi-party democracy. Those two events shaped the way I view politics. My political lens is built on a simple set of questions. Who sacrificed? Who benefited? And what do those outcomes reveal about the incentives of the political system? I believe history is the ultimate auditor of politics, measuring leaders not by the speeches they give or the promises they made, but by the sacrifices they endured, the rewards they ultimately received, and the incentives that shaped those outcomes. I, therefore, judge political figures by the gap between principle and reward. Who paid the price, who reaped the benefits, and what that says about the system itself. To me, political success is measured less by rhetoric than by tangible outcomes. What leaders gain, what they lose, and whether history rewards merit, conviction, and sacrifice, or simply the effective pursuit of power. Now you know I have a formed opinion. Do you? That's my question to you in response to the question you're asking me. Because you think this is superficial. That I support two-term and I am a beneficiary of the American system of excellence and greatness and success. You are having trouble with that. But now you know I have a formed opinion. And then I demonstrated that with the two giants of democracy from both spectrums of both violence and peace to make my point. Me, I do real conversations. Me, I don't know pettiness. Me, you could make jokes. So when I look, and I have said this multiple times, 35 years ago, James Orengo came to my Ihora Stadium, the same Keharo place, to sell us the idea of agitating for multi-party democracy. But he was already a member of parliament in a single party government 35 years ago. 35 years later, he is still an employee of the government. What was I doing there? I have a formed opinion. I'm older than your mother and your father's age combined. This is experience speaking. Don't be fooled by this young black skin. This is adrenochrome from blood of young people. Eric Maina. %90 of the current generation of Kenyan teenage ladies today are just single mothers in the making. Psychologists will be few the rich in 5 years' time. But who is going to be paying the bill? And I'm thinking when you say psychologist, you mean therapist. Who is going to be paying the bill? Women. A lot. There's an insult about women. Raise your antennas. Women come into this world already financially, economically disadvantaged. If they are making bad choices to deepen and to hasten the disparity of economic advantage against them, then who is going to be paying therapists to psych them out of their misery? We are going to start seeing a clean-cut demographic, because when we talk about onesies, we don't count women. We only talk about guys, because women adjust. Women are like water. They take the form in the shape of the man that is leading them. But to your point, the same way now, we have this whole swath of a generation of Gen Z onesies that are complete empty heads, brainless, directionless, talentless, ambitionless, purposeless. There's no insult. If there was, I would have said before that this is an insult. That is not an insult, it's an observation. We are going to actually have, now to your point, a whole category of women that can no longer belong. They are going to morph into something that is no longer woman. But the fact that women come economically disadvantaged, and these women now that you are articulating are making choices that are going to lead them to be farther away from the socio-economic ladder, there is no hope for them to afford psychologists and therapists. So there will be a complete, conspicuous group of young women that do not look like, I'm looking for her name so that the insult can get home. Shiro Muriuki? Is that her name? That 44-year-old desperate feminist, childless, husbandless, well, 2 husbands dropped dead. That is the traditional feminist. That is the complete metamorphosis of a feminist. But these ones are going to be in their 20s, but exhibiting the same desperation of the 44-year-old Shiro Moriuki, whatever the fuck that bitch's name is. To your point, yes. So it's going to be a very difficult. You know, it's one thing to see a boy chokora, even when I was working in Nairobi 100 years ago. To see a boy chokora. A boy chokora is a boy chokora. Are we together? A boy chokora is a boy chokora. A homeless man is a homeless man. But if that character is a woman, there is a whole new added dangers associated with her being a woman. So in the rare cases in the late 90s and early 2000s, when you would see a woman chokora, she's carrying a baby. Because chokoraness is not a place for a woman. If she is a woman in a chokora, she is going to get in a situation where she's going to get pregnant, and now she's a chokora with a baby. She's a chokora that has been sexually attacked because of who she is. So now, if you move the demographic of Shiro, whatever her name is, Shiro Morioki, and she's 44, cut her age by half, 22 women exhibiting the same characteristics of a desperate woman who have missed the boat so early at the prime of her life. Now, just like the chokora, who happens to be a woman, there are so many other factors that are added on to the chokoraness. She's going to be pregnant. She's going to have a baby. She's going to be sexually assaulted. So this 22-year-old, in the situation that they have put themselves in, even at the height of their sexual market value, once they miss the boat and they look like Shiro Morioki, they are going to be exhibiting the same characteristics at the wrong time. At the wrong time. And that in itself, in abstract, is a glitch to the ecosystem. Because that's where men should go and find women. But if this woman is the 90% of the current generation Kenyan teenage ladies today are just single mothers in the making, psychologists will be filthy rich in 5 years' time. If that woman now is exposed to the situations that will lead her to be 22 and single mother, just like the chokora who happens to be a woman, that added disadvantage plus the wastelessness that is being displayed by the woman twice her age in Shiromigwe, or whatever the fuck that woman is, we don't want that. Because men in their early 30s that have built themselves, that's where they should go to get a good woman. That market now is poisoned. Now that is a glitch to the system. If we have the wrong women in the wrong stage, then the good man cannot get a good woman because they are the 90% of the single mothers in waiting in their very early 20s when they are at the top of their sexual market value. That is a bigger danger. That glitch, we cannot afford it. We cannot afford it. American system, the social welfare system collapses precisely because of that demographic. It's too many of them at the wrong age, needing public assistance. Kenya does not have a system to absorb that kind of people. Not the same way as America has, because America can go to parliament every year in June and extend the social welfare bill. I think right now it's in 973 billion of welfare in dollars. All they have to do is elect like-minded Democrats who are catering to the demographic, and they go and they push for more money every year. They can do that in America. But in Kenya, we don't have an ecosystem to absorb that demographic. To your point, yes. But the greatest danger is not to the women themselves. It's in the missed opportunity of a good pool of women where men in their early 30s need to go and get a good woman. So what do you think is going to happen to the men in their early 30s that have built themselves and they are ready to settle? They will settle with the wrong woman. The wrong woman in the sense, they will still go to that 22, but she's a single mother. The wrong woman in the sense that he is going to settle with a woman who is 2 years younger than him. That's the wrong woman. The wrong woman is the woman who is single mother and 2 years younger than him at the same time. The continuation of the modern world cannot continue with that ecosystem in place. That's why America started neutering and spaying them to reduce the overpopulation. Maybe I need to explain it by saying that's why America gives permits to people to hunt wild pigs with guns and helicopters to slow down the multiplication of those animals in the ecosystem, because they damage the ecosystem itself if it's not managed. If I say it in the animal kingdom, it makes sense. The cruelty of shooting an animal from a helicopter with a powerful rifle, that one you are willing to bypass. But when I tell you that this woman should be neutered so that she does not produce unnecessary babies, then you say Bill Gates is coming to Kenya to offer no plant that lasts for 15 years because they are controlling population. But you don't have the ecosystem to deal with this woman, the same woman. You see how that works? Your job is just to reject anything that comes, but you never look at the ramifications of it. If the conversation is happening about a 15-year no plant, it's because the trajectory is taking us to the influx of these 90% of the women ending up in the wrong place. Me, I'm just a social observer, but I accept every label that you want to put on me. Misogynist, women hater, chauvinist, all those beautiful things. They are in here. You knew I was going to do that. Man, somebody sent me a video of this character, Peter Waweru, Captain Peter Waweru. I've not had a time to watch it. I will watch it. I will watch it. Somebody is saying, have you seen Captain Peter Waweru and his wife and what his wife did to him after all the sacrifice? I have not watched it. I will make a point of watching it. Eric Maina is a member of this group. Oh, this is the chief whip. With that trajectory, isn't that going to increase the crime rate as is seen in the Black American neighborhoods because of the fatherless boys? Four days ago, I told you, ukistaajabu ya niga za America, ukistaajabu niga za Kenya, za South Africa, utaziona Kenya. Today, I saw a video of a Kenyan guy, whether it's a skit or it's not. That's not the point. A Kenyan guy harassing a Burundian guy who is selling chai and chapati. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? 4 days ago, I said, wait for these Dwanzis 10 years from now, when they are 35. They will look exactly like the marauding niggers in South Africa today. Those delinquencies, those projections of the iniquities to do better for themselves, that packaging of as a victim and as a Minuteman to defend the homeland, Because what they are doing is because they cannot compete on equal measure, they are going to turn on foreigners. I saw a video today of a guy harassing a Burundian, demanding free tea and free mandazi because the guy is simply Burundian.
Dear customer, the number you have dialed is temporarily out of service. Nasikitika na
I was about to call a Burundian guy in Nairobi, and we hear the things from his own mouth that he goes through by simply being Burundian in Nairobi. The phone call is not going through. Those things are happening right now. You're going to go and rush and look at it. Oh no, it looks like Ipidire. Art imitates reality. It is coming. These dwanzis that are unable to assimilate and become useful members of the society, eventually they are going to turn their anger on the most vulnerable of the society. It's not just the foreigner, it's the children and the women. Rape cases are going to go up from the dwanzis. They are too many to ignore. 1 minute.
You don't put the dog enter.
No, está bien ahorita, pero yo hice el trabajo. Pero tú mismo finish. Está bien. Pero tú solamente aquí. Okay. All right, where are we? There are too many to ignore. So the manifestation of their delinquencies are going to be so conspicuous to ignore. You cannot run away from the facts. They will be glaring in your eyes. Did you see the young people in Orkalau? Did you see them? Did you see how easy it was to activate that demographic in whatever spectrum, from Ruto Kwanza or from the DCP nonsense? Did you see how easy it was to rally each and every of their base? Where did they come from? What were they doing before there was a need for a by-election? I was at the funeral of that member of parliament, Keraho. I was at the funeral. There is Tigoni. In Tigoni, there is a place called Lika Library. That's where the funeral service was. The vice president was there. Not Didinyoro, Ichungwa was there. I'm talking about the people I watched speak. There is a very nice young man in uniform. I think it's GSU, in uniform and a machine gun. He said hi to me. He was there. At the gate, I wish there was somebody here who was there. At the gate, useless youth hanging around there, begging for money from people driving in, waiting for the funeral service to end so that they can get the food from the kitchen. In the hundreds. What were they doing the day before Kiaraho died? That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I was at that funeral service in Lika Library. Delinquent, potentially dangerous thugs hanging out there, waiting. Now, look, fast forward to the by-election. I mean, the reason I'm bringing it up is Tigoni is not a place for those people. If anybody knows anything about Tigoni, that is not their backyard. Where do they come from? Where did they come from? I'm looking to see if I can find a photo. If I can remember. Well, just look up the name. Tigoni. Let me see if it's going to come up. No, it's not coming up. I wish I can remember the date. I have photos of my car parked in the same area with the vice president's car. Videos. Me talking to the NYS guys. If you remember that video, I was telling the young NYS kids, if I lost 10 pounds, if I can be admitted into the OINS, that was the Kiaraho funeral service. I was there. That is not an area for those people. Where did they come from? Nyandarua is a farmland. Orokarao. People are busy harvesting warus ya Nyandarua or milking cows and doing all those things. Why were there so many idle people around? Where did they come from? That is my point. Too many of them to ignore. So, American Nigger World is going to be replicated in Kenya. South African Nigger World is going to be replicated in Kenya. 10 days ago, I said 10 years. 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. Ukistajabu by election ya Orokarao. Goja election ya next year. If we are going to have it. I hope we don't. But if we are going to have general election next year, you wait and see. Navas Lab says he saw the video. What were those people doing there? That's not an area for delinquents. These are thugs, literal. When you're on the main road, where there's a little kabao saying Somo, whatever you want to read that name, COMO, on the main road, before you come to the road that leads to Lika Library, they were hanging there. Like the idol of villagers. There is no homestead there they can call home. That is not their backyard. No. That is like a countryside in Modaiga. There was no reason whatsoever for them to be there. Nyadarwa or Okalau. There was no reason for them to be mingling around. That's an agricultural zone. People are busy planting, harvesting, taking care of cows, doing this in the farm. They are bone tired by the time the sun go down. There's no time for idleness. I'm a village guy. I know. But they were there. What do you think is going to happen in next year? Because nyinyi mkishapayuka one term, mkishapayuka two term, that's it. Dunia yenu inaishia hapo. You are like little children with a shoebox imagination. Ali, you said you bought, Ali, I need you to respond. You bought a membership and Fisherman 8265 received it. Are you the one who gave it to him, or he picked it because it was available? Answer that specific question, Ali. Ali?
Yes.
Did you buy
Yes.
did you buy that membership directly to that person, or did they pick it up because they saw it?
They picked it up because they saw it. I was buying membership for your channel.
Fisherman 8265. You have 5 minutes. Thank you, Ali. You have 5 minutes to send me, George, NJAU, NGA, 500 shillings on my M-Pesa. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 1 second. I will block you from this channel and make that membership useless. Let me say that one more time. You cannot pick something that does not belong to you here and then go complain about corruption somewhere else. We start that here. That was not your membership to pick. I ran a tight ship here. You were not buying a membership 5 minutes ago. Why is it your place to pick up a membership that you were not buying 5 minutes ago? 500 shillings in my M-Pesa right now, or I block you and make that membership irrelevant. I still keep the money. Let me say one more time. I still keep the money, but you cannot enjoy something that is not yours. You cannot go scream corruption over there and then you are fucking petty thief here. Not here. Not here. Set alarm for after 5 minutes.
45 minutes, starting now.
5 minutes. Set alarm for after 5 minutes. Not with me, bro. Not with me. Nope. Set alarm for after 5 minutes.
5 minutes, counting down.
No. No. Oh, no. What you see is what you get with me. I want you to walk away saying, George, I do not need you. Before I say, I do not need you. If I start, I'm arrogant. If you do it, I'm following your energy. This is real life. The one you demand from your politicians, this is the real life. Somebody had already picked it up. Somebody had already seen it. Eric Maina, you knew it. I'm just noticing it now. ¿Está bien? ¿Todo?
Todo, sí.
Claro.
Sí. No problema.
Nomás 2 tiempos, no bueno. 3 tiempos.
No. Puse un caucho para que no suene.
¿Por qué no hay la otra vieja máquina?
No, están comprando sí esa chiquita ahora todas.
Sí, pero de nuevo, sí, está bien, por de máquina, pero de grandito manos, por de, ¿cómo se llama? De viejos, no más de manos, por de nuevo máquina.
Oh, no, son todos así, todos lo compraron así, todos. 2 veces han comprado así, parece que van a seguir comprando así.
Ok.
Están comprando, todos.
No, muévete para mismo mi puerta.
No.
Ok, está bien.
Vale.
Cierra mi puerta, por favor.
Sí, vale,
Ok,
vale.
thank you. Eric Maina had seen it long time ago before me. He knows the discipline here. Maina Muidhaga. That's an Odhaya name, Muidhaga. George, it's actually a thing already started. This evening, I met some Boda guys harassing a Burundian shoe hawker. Oh, shit. By the excuse that they don't want them on the voting line in 2027. The one I saw on X was demanding free chai and free madazi because he is Burundian. If the language was not Swahili, I mean, if you take off the volume, but you can understand what is going on, you would think it's from South Africa. That's where we are, bro. You want to ignore it and think it's going to go away. It's not going anywhere. This guy is giving me his birthday. His is Steve Nelson. Mr. Watson, any life-changing advice for a 21-year-old born on? So this is Kenya. So 2 is the date. So February 10th. No, the other way around. 2nd of October, 2005. Holy moly. This is a baby. This is a baby. Any life-changing advice for a 21-year-old born on the 2nd of October 2005? Dakika tano zimekwisha, my friend. Evidence of M-Pesa sahi. Evidence of M-Pesa. Fisherman, your membership is now null and void. It was nice knowing you. Oh, I cannot click on that page because it's just saying you're the one who took it. So now I have to do it manually. I know where to find you. In the membership list. No, bro, you cannot play that game here. You cannot be a victim of politicians are corrupt and then bring corruption here. Go report me someplace. Give them my phone number so that they can call me for judgment. Fisherman 8265. There we go. Alichiapo has just joined. And Erin, this is the name I was struggling with earlier. Erin Estotinega has become a member. I actually saw somebody else here. Oh yeah, that's the guy, has become a member. So you as Mr. Fisherman 8265, you don't deserve it because you are not buying it before you saw it and picked it up. It was not yours to pick. It was not yours to pick. Oh, you are from Moraradia. Allah. There we go. Oh, bro, me, I'm ruthless. I told you I would align myself with Hitler if he showed me discipline, because discipline is my strength. If you remove discipline from my life, I would look like you in every aspect of that insult. I have to manually hunt for you. There you go. Found you. Nakuja kudadia vitu za wengine hapa. You are the people who destroy other people's properties and content. You are the guy hanging out at Kiaraho's funeral service, waiting for the time for the service to end so that you can eat free food. There you go. You have dealt with you. Sio mimi bro. Wape namba yangu wanipigie waniambie niende jela gani to report for being too harsh. But I'm not going to accept that. Not now, not ever. Let's go back to Mr. Watson. Any life-changing advice for 21-year-old born on the 2nd of October 2005? Don't make anybody pregnant. Save your money. Don't waste time with losers. Do not belong to some alliances, friendships, groups, clubs, all these things. There is mean-tested research that shows that there is more negative connotation to your life at 21 than positive attributes that would come from those things. Because peer influence comes from those kogamanos. I call them mongeke. Some people don't understand why I use the word mongeke. The chances of you picking up bad habits like smoking, drinking, and doing drugs is when you are in a company of other people and you get the peer influence. You on your own, you would not. I have never done of those things because I refused to belong to mongekes. I refused. Kogamanos. They serve no purpose. A man's journey is a solitary journey. You build yourself. Then when you are at the top, you meet other people, you're like, hiya, this is where people who build themselves are. Ah, okay. Now you can collaborate with the people at the top. At the bottom, here, at the bottom, and there is no top for you at 21, unless your name is George Ruto. There is no top for you at 21. So chances are your bottom of 21 looks like a bottom of any other 21-year-old. And if you join groups and friendships and this and that, chances are that's where you're going to go pick up bad behaviors and bad tendencies. And before you know it, you have a woman pregnant, you have some venereal disease, and you are smoking through the nose and the ears, and you are doing drugs and alcohol. You need to take lock off every morning before you can be a functional human being. You would be better off dead. We come to your funeral and we cry fake tears and we eat michele and we leave you there with wilted flowers and we forget you. Than you having this information at this early age and then going to the path of wasting your life. You would be a fucking total failure. A failure to your mother, a failure to the sperm that made you, a failure to your community, a failure to the whole country, a failure to the whole ecosystem. Walk a solitary journey until when you get to a point, you start finding people who have also walked a solitary journey, build themselves so well. There's just a few of them at the top, above the clouds. Then you can collaborate with those people. But if you start this mongeke here, Friday for monigani, upuzi. You're going to waste your time, you're going to waste your energy, you're going to miss your health, you are going to miss the boat. And before you know it, you are going to desert your purpose, and you're going to make a woman and children and marriage and relationship your purpose, and you will have become just a regular mid-row of the male average human being. Why would you want that for yourself with the information that you have? That is my answer to you. Why can't you be sweet, George? This is just a 21-year-old. Why do you have to be so harsh? They will not remember sweet words. They will remember this harshness. This is very intentional. These people don't have uncles who speak to them the truth. People used to be said to their uncles because uncle does not have a way to tell them the things as they are. These people don't have fathers. You want me to be sweet to them? They have been hearing nothing but sweetness from mama. I am not their mama. Mimi siwajui. Me, I'm not sweet. Me, I'm real. Kama inakukera, kama inakukereketa, you are in the wrong place. Exit left. Umbwa wewe. Moraradia. Radia is a very unique spot. That's the genesis of Equity Bank. These are the good Kikuyus. They live a very good life. There is a very dilapidated chief's camp in that little town. stuck in the 50s and the 60s with those metal buildings of the administration police. But the rest of the environment, beautiful, beautiful life. They have coffee. Some of them have good weather for tea, and everybody have cow that they sell milk to whatever cooperative that is the cooperative of the day. They live a very simple, comfortable life. There is always money coming to the home at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. They live a very sweet, little natural life. Like the people from Gatanga, another very good arrangement of the Murang'a area. Murang'a is a very poor place, except for Gatanga and Kangema, you know, and now Madioya came out of Kangema. So this Moradia place is a very unique place. People can afford to live a comfortable village life because they eat from the farm and the land and the cows, and money is always flowing. That's where Equity Bank started as a cooperative. The owner of Equity is not Mwangi. The owner of Equity is Monga. He created a cooperative where people now, because money was floating around and there's nothing to do with money there, so he created a cooperative where people can come save their little coins, and then during the planting season they can come borrow fertilizers against the money they already have. That's how they grew Equity Bank way back. Jemo Yule Mzee, you know that comedian guy called Jemo Yule Mzee? He had his very first job at an Equity in this Moradia place. Beautiful spaces. I know Kenyans don't visit Kenya, but if there's a place you want to do a good drive, it is that part of central Kenya. And you cannot be wrong. You can be in Mokoyo and you take that road and go all the way up. You can go to water supply, take that road and go all the way up. It will take you through. No, the first one for Mokoyo will take you to Matiba's place. The one for water supply will take you to a different place. The one for post office will take you to another place. But all of them end up in Kangema. Beautiful landscapes. If you want to tour Nairobi, I mean central Kenya, just a drive. Beautiful drives. Just go visit those places. Beautiful spots. Beautiful. Maragua is very poor. Maragua, Marajao, all these low-lying areas of central Kenya, of Murang'a, they are very poor. The highlands is where you start seeing some little, and the weather is better. Beautiful places, Morandia. My sister went to Gatuya Secondary near Morandia. Or am I confusing Morandia with another place? Yeah, I think Gatuya is on that path. Mogoiri. Is Mogoiri goes on that stretch or another stretch? I think it's on the same stretch. I'm not sure, but it's beautiful spaces. Beautiful spaces. You stated it. This is Maina Muedaga. You stated is as it is. Didn't know you have traveled the world that much. Another road is Nyoka Nyoka. You are right, Mogoiri too. I don't know which one is Nyoka Nyoka. When you are in Mokoyo Market and you take that route, that one takes you to Ebase, Matiba, Kennedy Matiba's home. I think. When you go just slightly below that, past Mokoyo, there is a place called Water Supply. There's another road there. Before that, there is Mahesh, which was a garage of a Karasinga guy. There's a road now that also takes you to Kangema. If you go to Murang'a town and you go up the hill by the post office, there is a road around the post office that also takes you to Kangema. All those roads are very beautiful drives. Beautiful drives towards the highlands of Kanyanyaini, Kangema, Tuvu, Meoru. Wanyerere, Nyakatogo, Rwadia itself, where I went to school. Beautiful spaces. Highlands with rolling hills of nothing but tea. And some areas have coffee. The beginning areas of Koibe in the lower Kagema area have coffee. But as you go to the highlands, it's just tea. Beautiful landscapes. Beautiful spaces. Beautiful. Maragua, there's nothing to see. It's very dry. Is there anything else? 3 hours. What are you people doing here? Oh yeah, Moradia is a beautiful spot. You know what I like to do? Like now, I know you are from there. If you are a real human being, I would plan to visit your area, and then I would bring a goat, and then we can slaughter a goat as we enjoy that simple, beautiful, simple life. I did that in Mexico, what is that? What is that heritage? Those Indian pyramids, that the biggest one that is a UNESCO protected place. It's a Bitsi or something like that. It's a Bitsa, something like that. I can't remember the name. We went to not Tulum. It's not Cabo San Lucas. What is the name of the other place? Cancun. We went to Cancun in a big resort. Vidante, I think is the name of the place. And in there was a tiny little native Mexicans from the Yucatan. They are very small people. His name was Jose. And we planned, we can buy a goat. And then, because we had rented a car in Cancun town at the airport, we can buy a goat, and then we can go to your village, 3 hours drive, and then we can go and slaughter it traditionally. Perfect stranger. Perfect stranger. My son speaks fluent Spanish. Mine is Tora Tora. I would want to do that back in the central Kenya that formed my teenage years. In that region, the highlands of Kangema. I would love to do that. Anyway, why are we here? The girls of your generation are not yours. They don't know that, bro. They don't know. They cannot understand that concept. Because the messaging by the feminist has been so strong that is predatory. It's guilt tripping. So the men are scared of any message from the feminist. No, the girls from your generation are not your girls. That's our girls. Like literally our girl. Me, George, with my big age. Those are my girls. But you're not ready for that conversation. Right now, you just got angry at me for no reason. The feminists gave you that mantle. You don't know why you just got angry, but you're doing it to please the feminists. And you're going to end up with a governor that even if I was a poor man, would be too old for me. If Kenyans knew the economic advantage they had over other countries, we would be planning on how to expand our powers to other countries. But instead, all we do is insult each other on X like toddlers. But we are toddlers. You are making a very good observation. We are toddlers. Nyoka Nyoka is the new road, uphill road that I used to get to Jombe. I know where Jombe is. You get to Kangema. You go up. There is Gakira Market. After Gakira Market, the road branches in a Y. If you take the left, it takes you to to Kanyanyaine by the tea factory. If you go to the right, it goes all the way down to Donyonjero, I think. At Donyonjero, if you turn left, it takes you to Rwajogu, little town. If you continue, there will be another left turn that will take you to Jobe proper. It's a big road that goes through Jobe. When Jobe was high school, JJ Kamodo went there. There's a big road past Donyonjero. You keep going as if you're going to Kiriaine, but not too far away. Then there is a left turn that will take you all the way to Jobe, circle you back all the way to, I want to say Nyagatogo, but I'm not sure. But Mioru, is it Mioru? Mioru, is that the name of the place? Yeah, actually Nyagatogo is also there. There is another place, a little tiny little name. JJ Kamodo's home is also on that road now that you are calling Nyoka Nyoka. Yeah, I think that place is called Mioru. It is like the last Tudo. Tudo is on the other side when you go through Kanyanyaine. But this one here of Jobe Girls, Jobe High, there's way out there, Mwisho ya Reri. Past there is Abadeas with the animals. Yeah, I know those places. Beautiful places. If you are an ASKiQ and you have access to a personal vehicle, go visit those places. Yeah, Mioro, not Mioru. Mioro, yes, Mioro. This girl on X, her name is Chapati Mistress. Her grandfather is from there, from Mioro. Her grandfather was my high school principal, Eliud Munyori Fuko. His son is communication director at State House, Nairobi. He was at the same point, the same equivalent position for Uhuru Kenyatta. Mioro. After Mioro, there is nothing else. Mwisho Areri, you are now in Abadeas. I was saying, if you are ASKiQ and you have access to a vehicle, go to Murang'a town. Once you get to Mokoyo Market, you can take that light turn. You can go further down at Mahesh, take another left turn. Or you can go further down to the water supply, go up the hill, go to the post office, and take that route. Any of those routes, you are going to see Murima that you have never seen in your life. The one with the tea and the coffee and just small scale farms with rolling hills, beautiful green areas. And you cannot get lost. And you can even circle around and come back through another route. Beautiful spaces. Less than 2 hours away at the very edge of the Abadeas. From Nairobi, it will take you less than 2 hours to get to the very top edge of the Abadeas. Beautiful spaces. It looks like Tigoni on steroids because real people live there. But the landscapes are the same, rolling hills with tea and coffee everywhere. Beautiful. Yeah, I actually wanted to do it in Uganda, but it's a little tricky. Human beings not to be trusted. Human beings not to be trusted. So you have to do something like that with an outfitter. It's too much logistics. You see that thing he's saying? You will experience the smells of loam, wet soil, plus the burning tea from the Githabo tea factory. We are in Kiharo, Kanyanyaini is in Kangema. In high school in Rwadia, across the ridge, you go down, there is Madioya River. That song I made of Naomi Kuria. All those things I put there are real things. I just imagined them, but they are real things. In Rwadia, you go down the hill, you cross the Madioya River, you go up the hill, the Kanyanyaine tea factory is right there. When we are in Rwadia and Kanyanyaine tea factory is way out there, the wind brings the smell of the fumes from the drying of the tea leaves at the factory all the way to our high school. That very conspicuous smell. It's not irritating, it's not bad, but you cannot ignore it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sweet memories of my childhood. And then there's that humming. I don't know how they do it now. I mean, it's 35 years ago, probably collapsed because of mismanagement by the black people. But we could hear the humming, different iterations of the humming of the factory, dependent on the level of the drying of the coffee, of the tea leaves. And then the wind would blow that smell way to our side of the countryside. All right. Hizi zimekuwa story za jaba sasa. Hii story imeisha. Yeah, that place is called Mioro. Baba Motion, Kiriaina. Kiriaini is the one that connects Muranga and Nyeri. Yes, my sister is married in Kiriaini. We used to visit there when we were little. We even spent a night or two there in Kiriaini. Kiamaina, I think is the little village name. When you are in my brother-in-law's home, there's a little river by their farm. Across the river, there's a big mansion. It was Mwai Kibaki's brother's house. I'm about to remember his name. I have forgotten it. Mwai Kibaki's brother's home was right there. You can see it from my brother-in-law's home. And that now is Nyeri. And there's no big river, just a little tiny stream. Divide their farm with the Nyeri. And Odaya now starts there. And the little thing right there, the big mansion there was Mwai Kibaki's brother's house. I know those places. Yep. All right. Ikipidi Mecha. Queen Odogi. Thank you so much for being here. That was a good space. A lot was said. A lot of people were annoyed. A lot of people comforting their comfortabilities was shaken. But we discovered that we are in trouble with the Gen Zs. It's too many of them to ignore. Not Gen Zs, Dwanzis. If I saw something about a Dwanzi harassing Achai and Madasi said in Burundian, and somebody else saw something different today in real life, South Africa is coming to Kenya, bro. Anyway, we are done for today. When is today? Monday? Yes, today is Monday, I think. Yeah, today is Monday. See you another day. See you another time. Kama umeguzwa, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Herbert. Navas Herbert. I don't know, every time I see your name, it reminds me of a guy from, I think he was from Cameroon. We used to work together a long time ago. He has exactly like your name. Herbert. Where was he from? I think he was from Cameroon. Every time his name was actually Norbert, not Herbert, Norbert. Yeah, Norbert. Subscribe to the channel, share the links to the videos that rub you the wrong way so that you can share the pain with other people. Thank you. I don't know where Matara, I cannot remember where Matara is, but I remember Kiamaina. I think that's where the little church where my sister family goes to church. And then you can take a big walk around that little marshy area, and you go past Mwai Kibaki's brother's house, and there is a shopping center that now is in Odaya proper. Very long distance walk. I don't know if it's because we were young or what, but it felt like it's a very long walk. There was a shopping center there past Mwai Kibaki's brother's home, and this family would walk way out there. Mairoine, probably, yeah. But that area of Central, that area of Muranga is very beautiful. I'm from Muranga, the poor side of Maragua. It's low lying, so the temperature is not very ideal. But those highlands near the Abadeas, beautiful landscapes, beautiful. If you are an ASKiQ and you have access to a private car, make a drive to those areas. It is a beautiful, therapeutic drives. Those are the kind of places you want to be in a car with all the windows down and beautiful music playing, and you just take it all in. Because Kenyans, you don't visit your country. You don't visit your country. Non-Kikuyus don't come visit Kikuyu land. Kikuyus don't go to Nyanza. Nyanza people don't visit. If it's not a national park associated with it, or the lakes, or the ocean, Kenyans don't tour Kenya. But I'm telling you, Kenya is beautiful. I was in Kenya for 6 weeks in March and April. The trip we took to Murima, we went to everything that qualifies to be Murima. Whoa. Beautiful. Beautiful. We drove for 2,000 kilometers in 4 days, Easter weekend. We went everywhere. We even saw Itumbi's village. We went everywhere. If it's in central Kenya, we were there. If it's in Murima, we were there. Beautiful place. Yeah, what's on in green? Today was a very weird day. I will never wear this green again. I brought in some very bad energy. Twinning. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next one. Do you want to hear some music? You know, back in the day, you used to have patriotic songs. Do I have a patriotic song? No. I saw you in Tigoni. I will definitely do the Murima trip. I have never been. Oh, bro, it is beautiful. If you have time and resources, go to All Pajeta. Get a guide who knows where everything is. Thank me later. Thank me later. All Pajeta. Funja Mifupa, I remember you explaining that song perfectly. Yes, but I cannot play anybody else's music on on YouTube, because they're gonna take away my revenue and give it to them. So I only play my own music. I have a collection of songs I have called Old is Gold. I'm conflicted. Loving You From Afar is the English version of the song in Swahili, where my photo and that one of If minor is, that one is in Swahili. Ntakupenda kwa mbali, nakupenda kwa mbali. That is in Swahili. The English version of it is very, very sweet for the two of you who will stay and listen to it. But this one is in English, in a totally different version. Loving You From Afar. Thank you so much for your subscribe, for your membership, for your likes, for your follows, for the pesos, the super chats. These memberships are the gold. Asanteni sana. Loving you from afar. I don't have the mic. I don't have the mic. Edgar, are you okay? Are you okay, Edgar? These emotions at the beginning of the song, they are very intentional. Asante sana bwana. Thank you so much.
My heart races every time I see you. I wish I could tell you, but the words stay locked inside. You walk right past me, never noticing I'm there. And here I am, loving you from afar. Every smile you give melts my soul. Every time I sit and watch you, my mind fills with questions. Is he married? Does he have a girlfriend? But none of that changes how I feel. Still here, loving you from afar. Still hopeful that one day you'll finally see me. Still hopeful your eyes will look my way. I love you from afar, but my heart won't give up. I picture us walking hand in hand, laughing together till the sun goes down. You hold me gently, whispering sweet words. I see our wedding day, me in a flowing white gown. Everyone's watching, but my eyes are only on you. My heart leaps every day in these dreams. I see us with a son and a daughter, living in our beautiful home. Every time you come back, they run to you, shouting, Daddy! But reality pulls me right back to the same cafe, the same scene, just watching you, still here, loving you from afar. One day I'll find the courage, I'll stand up and speak. I'll tell you I've loved you for so long. I'll take your hand and stop being afraid. Maybe you'll smile at me the same way. But reality pulls me back to the same cafe, same table, same seat. Just watching you, still here, loving you from afar. Same table, same seat. Just watching you, still here, loving you from afar. Still, same table, same table, same seat. Just watching you, still here, loving you from afar. Still hopeful, I love you from afar. Same table, same seat. Just watching you, still here, loving you from afar. Still hopeful, I love you from afar.